Once I was with my father listening to the news,
where the announcer led the news bulletin about the victory of the resistance over the Israeli enemy during 2006.
What aroused my curiosity, since I was born in the same year.
What happened, my father, that year? The 2006 Lebanon War, also called the 2006 Israel Resistance in Lebanon War, and known in Lebanon as the July War. Yes? And in Israel as the Second Lebanon War, when I was 20 years old.
Was a 34-day military conflict in Lebanon, northern Israel and the Golan Heights. The principal parties were resistance in Lebanon paramilitary forces and the Israeli enemy army. The conflict started on the 12th of July 2006, and continued until a United Nations brokered ceasefire went into effect in the morning on the 14th of August 2006, though it formally ended on the 8th of September 2006 when Israel lifted its naval blockade of Lebanon. Due to unprecedented Iranian military support to resistance in Lebanon before and during the war, some consider it the first round of the Iran-Israel proxy conflict, rather than a continuation.
Oh my God, it's been a tough year. Also, I lost many of my friends. The conflict was precipitated by the 2006 resistance in Lebanon cross-border raid.
On the 12th of July 2006, resistance in Lebanon, fighters fired rockets at Israeli border towns, as a diversion for an anti-tank missile attack on two armored Humvees patrolling the Israeli side of the border fence. The ambush left 3 soldiers dead. 2 Israeli soldiers were abducted and taken by resistance to Lebanon. The ambush left 3 soldiers dead. 2 Israeli soldiers were abducted and taken by resistance to Lebanon. 5 more were killed in Lebanon in a failed rescue attempt. Resistance demanded the release of Lebanese prisoners held by Israel in exchange for the release of the abducted soldiers. Israel refused and responded with airstrikes and artillery fire on targets in Lebanon. Israel attacked both resistance military targets and Lebanese civilian infrastructure, including Beirut's Rafik Hariri International Airport.
Oh, it was devastating. The Israel Defense Forces launched a ground invasion of southern Lebanon. Israel also imposed an air and naval blockade. Resistance then launched more rockets into northern Israel and engaged the Israeli enemy army in guerrilla.
The conflict is believed to have killed between 1,191 and 1,300 Lebanese people and 165 Israelis. It severely damaged Lebanese civil infrastructure and displaced approximately 1 million Lebanese and 300,000-500,000 Israelis.
On the 11th of August 2006, the United Nations Security Council unanimously approved United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701 in an effort to end the hostilities.
The resolution, which was approved by both the Lebanese and Israeli governments the following days, called for disarmament of resistance, for withdrawal of the Israeli enemy army from Lebanon, and for the deployment of the Lebanese armed forces, and an enlarged United Nations interim force in Lebanon, UNIFIL, in the south. UNIFIL was given an expanded mandate, including the ability to use force to ensure that their area of operations was not used for hostile activities, and to resist attempts by force to prevent them from discharging their duties.
And it was very difficult. You are right. The Lebanese army began deploying in southern Lebanon on the 17th of August 2006.
The blockade was lifted on the 8th of September 2006. On the 1st of October 2006, most Israeli troops withdrew from Lebanon, although the last of the troops continued to occupy the border-straddling village of Gayar. In the time since the enactment of UNSCR 1701, both the Lebanese government and UNIFIL have stated that they will not disarm resistance. The remains of the 2 captured soldiers, whose fates were unknown, were returned to Israel on the 16th of July 2008 as part of a prisoner exchange.
This was a great victory for Lebanon. Thank you, my father, for this valuable information, and I am proud that I was born that year.